Hey YouTubers, I'm here again to bore you a little more. I hope the video quality is a little bit better than last time, but it probably isn't by much. I'm in a room that's a little more well lit, but I've come to notice that when I'm looking at the video screen, it looks like the video quality is perfectly fine right up until I post it, and then all of a sudden it's just terrible, and I can't really do much about it. I'm just gonna apparently have to try doing video in different places until I find where I can get better lighting or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm just doing this video because I recently wrote out a paper on the importance of literature. And so I don't know if anyone else will be interested in it, but I care a lot about literature. So for me, like, this is something I'm passionate about. So I thought, I'll try and see if anyone else, if even one person cares to listen to it. Obviously, I'm not going to stay on track the entire time. I'm not going to stay focused on I'm not going to go verbatim for the paper because I cannot stay focused that well. That just doesn't work for me. But you'll understand the point. You'll get what I'm saying. So a lot of people in the world think very little of literature, if anything at all. They just don't see the importance of reading and writing anymore. And I personally know a lot of people who just refuse to read. I don't understand why, because I'm a huge reader. I'm hugely into writing. So when someone says that they just don't like reading, it confuses me. But we'll pass that. The thing that a lot of people don't seem to fully comprehend is that literature is one of the most imperative parts of society. It's impossible to completely grasp what all literature consists of. Hopefully, though, I can cover some of it in here to help you guys understand just how vital literature is and how much people rely on it without even realizing. Because most of the time, when people think of literature, they think of big, heavy novels or difficult reads. They think of authors like Shakespeare and Homer, or books like Gone with the Wind, Dracula, or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Basically, what I'm saying is the classics tend to come to mind when the word literature comes up. But that's not all that literature is. Literature covers more or less everything a person reads. Oxford Dictionary describes literature as written works, especially those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. And it says especially rather than exclusively, showing that all written works are literature. Just a glance into that world will show you that there's Gothic literature, classic literature, romantic literature. There are books about comedy, there are books about, just about everything that you can think of. And then there's manuals, there's history books, there's everything. Every genre out there. This paper that I'm reading off of, or mostly off of, is a form of literature, albeit it's no Shakespeare, but it's literature nonetheless. And one of the most important things about literature is that it brings people together, no matter what kind of literature it is. The Harry Potter fandom has millions of fans, which means millions of people who have likely never met, and yet if they pass by each other and see that they both have a book that the other likes, like if one of them is holding, the Half-Blood Prince, and the other one sees it, and they're wearing their Gryffindor shirt or something, then a conversation could go on for hours between them. I've seen it happen. I have been one of those people. And that is what all books and all literature attempts to achieve. It brings people together with a common interest. But it doesn't just bring people together. A lot of different literature provides unexplainable inspiration to others. Inspiration that they can do things, that they can make it through hard times, or that they can create their own works. And what's better than inspiration? Nothing. You can't argue me there. Nothing is better than inspiration. Inspiration gets people up and moving towards their goals, making each and every one more likely to accomplish. Inspiration, it gives you hope. It gives you something to work towards. And otherwise, you're not going to get things done without your inspiration. And inspiring others is always amazing, but keeping them knowledgeable is just as vital, if not more so. Many works of literature that are well-known, or even ones that are not so well-known, give a look into history that plenty of people today would not be able to fathom without the existence of these stories that talk about how things came to be. Difficult trials that had to be endured in the past, and how the author or who they're talking about got through tough times. The person who first comes to mind here is Eli Wiesel, who wrote a book called Night that describes his young life during the time of World War II. The story gives a detailed description of what it's like to be a Jew placed in a concentration camp. Without stories like his, the world 50 years from now, probably a lot of people in the world now, would never know exactly what went on during those times. Spoken word gets forgotten all too quickly and easily, but books like these, they get taught in schools and show people the type of trials that others had to endure and how not everyone made it out. It shows the mistakes of the world's history, and as I say, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So, what would society be without literature? Well, never would the world have gotten as far as it did without the written word. We wouldn't be as connected to our history, we wouldn't be, connected to other parts of the world. Learning new languages would prove far more difficult than they ever have, and the human race as a whole would not nearly be as advanced as we've come to be. Like, think about it. So much that we've learned, so much that happens is only because of literature. Everything you learn in school, all these different things, just everything progresses because of literature. It's just how it works. Everything you read, to learn new things, that's how it happens. All the scripts for different shows and plays and movies, that's all from literature. That's all literature. It's all it is. And all of this stuff that none of you care about, obviously, it just scratches the surface on the importance of literature. It provides hope, insight on the past, a chance to bond, knowledge, and so much more. There are countless examples that could be gone through about how important it is and how we would not be the same today without it. But I've covered a little bit of it too. And a good thing to remember is that literature is one of the main things that makes humanity who we are. Literature is at the core of every person in the world, whether they realize it or not. So before you, go and say, oh, reading is stupid, or oh, literature isn't important, think about it. Where would you be without literature? Where would you be if you hadn't gone through learning all the things that you did? Sure, a lot of people think school is stupid and school sucks, but look at how much you've learned from that. And think about all the textbooks. How much would you have really learned if none of this stuff got written down? None of this stuff, like everything was just passed from word of mouth. And sure, lots of stuff gets passed from word of mouth. And have you ever played Chinese Whispers? That just, things get mixed up a lot, and word of mouth is not a good way to rely on something. Having things written down, it helps. It helps there be, something that can be proven. Just, I don't know, a lot of people miss this in the world. A lot of people it's something that passes them by. It's something that people don't think about a lot. But to me, it's something that's always constantly right there. The importance of literature is something huge, and something that I feel like it's impossible to miss it and to not see how big it really is and how big of an impact literature has had on everyone. So just think about that next time, you see a book or you're thinking about writing something out. It's all part of literature. It's all part of this huge thing. And we contribute to it. We contribute to reading and writing all types of literature every day. And that's kind of amazing. Alright, I think that's all I have for today. That's all I'm going to bore you with. Like I said before, drop some comments, ask questions that you want me to answer about anything, and if I don't know the answer, I'll try and find it as hard as I can and get you some reliable sources. Or you can just ask questions about me, and I don't mind, I'll answer questions about me. Or you can post some ideas about what you would want me to do videos of in the future, and I'll be more than happy to accommodate with that. Like, follow, share, all, right down there should be some stuff for it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys soon.